Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the studio. It is your Wrestling Mayhem show. It is episode...
Wrestling Mayhem Underpants Show.
Yeah, 253. 253?
What is it?
253. Right here. It's the third show of this 2011 year.
2011.
I was trying to figure if I was going to get religious there. As you see, we have a
sexy party.
We have a new member, Bert, of the Wrestling Mayhem show. He's just going to be looking at you. But joining us...
That was Chachi with those eyebrows.
Oh. Joining us, of course, is straight from the Bronx. He's made his way back home. Mad Mike, how you doing this week, sir?
I'm doing awesome, even though I'm a little tired because I dashed all the way home from Pittsburgh because, as you all know, I am dashing Mad Mike.
Fantastic, sir. How was that ride home? I mean, the dash home, of course. You were here all last week for the special 5-year party.
So the 5-year party was so insane, and the ride home, or the dash home, was like all my rides, long and arduous.
Fantastic.
That's a big one.
Also with us from his deep dark lair, not WrestleFan's mom, DJLunchbox. How you doing tonight?
Oh.
Ooh, yes. WrestleFan's mom does like to come in my deep dark lair.
Whoa.
That's neither here nor there.
Oh, Jesus.
That's it? That's all you got for an intro?
Wait, does anybody else hear that?
No, that's all you. It's all in your head.
I'm serious. I hear a train. I hear somebody making choo-choo noises. Sorry, folks. Sorry. I'm a little high. No, it's not true. That's not true. I am just finally getting back on my feet after throwing up everything I've eaten for the past all day. It's been a rough day, but I'm here for the Wrestling Mayhem show. For you folks. Pull out my teeth for you guys. So I don't know. That's all I got. What's up?
Hey, and of course, you don't see him behind me. We're doing some new stuff with the Skype. He's across from me. The WrestleFan. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm doing extra great if you listen to the WRS Gold this week for a little something special that's going on too here in the Wrestling Mayhem show, whether I like it or not.
Damn straight. Damn straight whether you like it or not. That's right. That's right. If you have if you have the WMS Gold app on your iPhone, iPad, iDevice, iPod Touch, or Android devices now, look up the wrestling show, I'm told, on your Android. You will find out what is going into the WrestleFan project, and you can contact us about that and anything else about the Wrestling Mayhem show. Of course, we're on Twitter at Mayhem Show, so you can hear all the updates, see when we go live, see when we're changing the plans, see what's going on in general. Or you can contact us at
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And we got the hotline, of course, as always, 412-206-WMS0. That's 9670 if you don't have letters on your finger phone.
Call us when you're drunk.
Call us when you're drunk, please. We'll be working on a little bit. Of course, SorgatronMedia.com got an overhaul over this weekend. We're still overhauling it. There's going to be some changes all the way across the board. There's a little bit of look at the iPhone app right there. That's as well as it looks over Skype. But you get the idea. The video's on there. The show's on there. You can call us from that app right there straight. So when you are drunk and can't remember, you remember your little icon, which is, of course, on your front page of your iPod, iPhone, that says Wrestling Mayhem Show and says, I'm going to call those motherfuckers because I'm drunk and that's the perfect time to communicate.
Call us when you're drunk. Send us pictures of your butthole. Send us pictures of your friend's butthole.
Yes, but of course you can send those to Good Times Wrestling Mayhem Show, care of DJ Lunchbox, likes the bunghole. for that
Spice
last
up
part.
my work day.
Fantastic.
I actually prefer boobs as opposed to the butthole.
Exactly.
Just saying. I don't
I
care
used-
if they're guy boobs or girl boobs. But, you know.
Beggars can't
You should
choosers.
kind of care if the guy boobs or girl boobs. I do.
Apparently not when they're just pictures for the Mad Mike. He is
Well,
indiscriminatory.
yeah, not when they're just pictures sent to goodtimes at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Good times.
Good times. Good
I'm gonna send a
times.
picture of my man titties right now
To who? To us?
to good times at
Good times.
WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
All right. Before we get too big into this, I want to thank V-Rock on the Twitters of Veronica.
Yes.
She was there in full effect last week for the Mayhem 5-year party. She has some tremendous pictures up over on her Flickr. She's V_Rock on Twitter. Hey, what's her WordPress? I can't remember the address off the top of my head.
D-Rock Studios, I believe. If you look up D-Rock Studios, you'll find it.
VRockStudios.wordpress.com, I believe. But
believe
Speaking
so,
of the devil, she just texted me asking
yeah?
if I'm coming to her show on Friday. That's right. She's having a gallery showing this Friday, so hit her up on Twitter for more details.
yeah, that'll be up in Butler, PA. I'm looking to attend myself. Not completely by myself. I will be dragging the wife along as well. So really good, really cool to see a friend of the show doing some really cool things with photography. So go check out that. She's got a lot of great stuff from Scarehouse from this past year, a lot of other cool stuff too.
Taking a picture of my titties.
Tremendous. Let's get right into the fan mail. I know we got a couple of them in there. A couple just came in over the past couple of hours, so I have not been able to review these. I'm wondering if you guys may have gotten the heads up on them.
Sorry, I never read
got-
anything. I want my reactions for the Mayhem
that's not very
audience
good.
to be pure and genuine.
There you go. There you go. Then
There's nothing pure about this show.
there's nothing that's about right. Does anybody want to do the Riz mail?
That's foul,
Son
dirty
of a
lie,
bitch.
WrestleFan.
Oh,
Dirty lie.
I'll take the Riz
There are
mail.
certain
Alright.
things that are pure.
hit it, WrestleFan.
One of them doesn't happen to be your mother.
He's still going.
Oh, wow. Okay, WMS.
Yes.
The Royal Rumble. He always starts out like, the Royal Rumble has increased the number of superstars from 30 to 40, which will only make the Rumble more interesting to say the least. But as the superstars increase, let's take a look back at all of the great increases in history. Number 5.
Whoa.
War Games. I'm starting out with a wrestling stipulation, so sue me. A tag team cage match? No. A gigantic cage which covers 2 rings for more entertainment, more carnage, and more awesomeness.
The coolest cage match ever.
Coolest thing
Lies.
coming out of WWE.
You know what?
Lies.
No, let's hold back. No. Well, first, okay, we'll get your what you think here in a second, Mad Mike. But the coolest thing about War
How do you know
Games,
what I think it is?
huh?
How do you know what I think the coolest cage match is?
I thought you were saying lies for that. Hold on a second. Shit. No, the thing about War Games wasn't the bullshit War Games that was later when it was NWO and One Warrior Nation and all that crap. Like the early days when there's like Abdullah the Butcher and they sneak a hammer in. Okay? A hammer and other devices of mass destruction. Now, I did not get to watch a lot of these early ones, but the pictures in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, because I didn't have cable, remember, were really cool. And that's my early experience from that. And that's why I'm
So
always
you're not talking about the one with the electric chair, right?
No. That's Halloween
no, but
Havoc.
that
That's
one was
something else.
fucking awesome.
No,
all right,
I don't
the
think
electric chair was the shit because where I was growing up, we had a video store and they had like a handful of wrestling videos, and I would fucking rent that Halloween Havoc all
Dude,
the time.
I tell you what, we had that. That was like the only WCW one that they had there, and I never rented it because I would not rent anything but WWF. By the way, shout out from Steve from the Tech Buzz, who on Instagram put out his WWE collection, including some old like WWF Yokozuna magazines. I think he has like the WrestleMania 7 program, really impressive. So I want to toss that out there. The techbuzz.net if you want to check out what he's doing. Some really cool tech stuff. So go ahead. Oh, Mad Mike, did you have something to toss in on that?
Oh no, I was just gonna say the best expand cage match was the triple cage from Ready to Rumble.
Okay. We were not.
No, it wasn't.
I love that.
Tremendous.
And then they tried to bring it back at an actual wrestling pay-per-view, and then it was just bad.
Then David Arquette gets about. WrestleFan, what's next? What's number 4?
Number 4, buy one, get one free. It's pretty general, but you think of all the stuff you can get with the BOGO price. Games, haircuts, babies. It's always a bargain. I've
I don't know what they're
buy
doing
one, one free baby.
Is that a special program in IUP?
Hold on. Where the hell is the special buy one, get one haircut place?
Exactly.
This is
What I
really
did
awesome.
there?
I want
Let's
to
call
know.
it bait and switch, kids.
Tremendous.
Number 3, double or nothing. The bet that settles all bets. Whether you're an awesome bowler or a gambler that is down on his luck, who needs one more bet to keep his house?
Also, a really good plot device for most movies.
Yes.
I
It's
think
my
that was
favorite.
also
Number
a
2
really great Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
It might have been. Great plot.
It sounds like it.
Bazinga.
My personal favorite. Number 2, double stuffed Oreos. Come on. You cannot tell me that Nabisco's decision to make an Oreo already an outstanding product and double the goodness.
Hey, funny thing about double stuffed Oreos, you guys. Did you know that Matt Hardy switches from double stuff to regular Oreos when he's fasting?
Yes, I did, Mad Mike. And if you want to know more about awesome Matt Hardy facts, go to or follow at Modern Matt Facts on Twitter.
I'm
And,
going to randomly
Fred-
come in. I have his Twitter page up right now. I'm going to randomly come in with Modern Matt Facts all night.
Friend of the
In
friends
fact,
of the rest.
I'm going to do this until the end of time because this is my favorite Twitter site ever.
Oh, fuck,
Ever.
it's a bear.
Yes. Now continue
Sorry,
with
I'm
the
sorry.
Rizmail.
And number 1, twins. No one really.
Twins. Hold on, I was trying to get a visual aid for this one, but it didn't work out too well. Oh, there it is. There we go. Twins. Okay, nobody. Okay.
I
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm
The
always
twins
doubling
thing is like 13 years old.
What's that?
The
Oh.
twins thing is like 13 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
WrestleFan's
really?
just learning it.
I don't know what it
WrestleFan
is.
doesn't even know
Or
what that
get it.
means.
It is.
Like, he
I
doesn't
really
know
do
it's
not
from a
know, but I've heard you
commercial.
guys say it like constantly on the Mayhem show, so I'm going with it.
Bullshit. We've never
It does-
done that on the Mayhem show. I've been here for I've been here for longer than 5 fucking years. Ain't nobody ever gone twins.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Suck it,
I mean-
little white kid.
And besides, a lot of the twin teams in wrestling have really kind of sucked. I mean, look at the Bellas. They suck all the time. See what I did there?
Hey, listen.
Because
You
they're
don't
like,
talk
I
bad
can
about
see that.
Techno Team 2000, alright?
They weren't twins.
Techno Team
You remember
2000 was
Gemini?
wait,
Fucking Gemini?
Gemini.
do you really want to argue with the guy who watches 90s wrestling on the regular? Techno Team
No,
2000
they're
were
from
not
the
twins.
future.
The
Count.
bad twin teams, Gemini, the Blue Brothers, let's see, Ron and Don Harris, which are the same guys.
Ron and Don Harris are classic.
I can get, oh, the Basham.
We need a tech.
Excellent point
Oh,
by Riz,
the
even though they
Bashams were
weren't
awesome
twins.
because the Bashams were okay, but when they brought in Shaniqua, that's when
The Grace was when her boobs when her boobs got bigger
Shaniqua
because
with-
she got clotheslined too hard.
Goddess, okay?
Yeah, from the swelling from the clothesline from hell, right, Sorg?
Yeah, exactly. All right, next whatever fan mail this is
Fan mail.
comes from
fan
Pierre
mail.
Kelly. Is this LB? Is this you?
Oh my
What?
God, there are boobs.
There is a nipple in my inbox.
There's a nipple in my inbox.
Man. All right. Anyways,
For
Pierre
a second, I
Kelly.
thought that was a tattoo.
To the WMS Nation. When I first heard the news, I couldn't believe why that the Royal Rumble expanded the lineup from 30 to 40 wrestlers. 40 wrestlers? That is way too much of the Rumble you have compared to the classic 30-man match. What could be added to the lineup? Could it be divas, like one did last year? Could it be the remaining NXT Season 4 rookies? Could it be any member of the Nexus? Or could it be any WWE legend? I was hoping that 40 would be too much for it to take about 45 minutes to get it done, but good luck on the match anyways. Also, I heard there was going to be 2 groups of Nexus splitting up into 2 leaders, one by Wade Barrett and another by CM Punk. It's looking like that, by the way. SmackDown's looking, by the way. This could be a flashback of when NWO met the NWO Wolfpack. Let's hope it could last long all year. I had to run, and here's to Triple H for a hopeful return at number 40 in the Rumble.
Let's hope not.
Pierre K, a.k.a. Mr. Tech Wood Drive. Well, he's got a movie he's got to start promoting. The Chaperone.
Oh, God. And that movie looks shitty.
It kind of looks rough. I mean, well, then again, really, did you really have a good opinion of Knuckleheads when they had the first promo for that?
Yeah. Dude,
I didn't.
Knucklehead looked awesome from day one.
I didn't really, and this kind of has the same feeling Knucklehead did for me.
Really? I was excited about Knucklehead. This is,
Yeah,
you know what? Honestly, in the scene that Triple H isn't trying to be funny,
yeah,
it actually doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
But when he's trying to be funny, it just reminds me of the really, really bad DX humor him and Sean did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm half expecting a group of green-clad cheerleaders to show up in the museum or wherever they're at.
And it's going to turn into like it turns into more of a kids movie. Like a part of the promo, like there was so much focused on the kids, I forgot Triple H was in it. I'm like, what's going on here? So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'll see it in about 4 months when it's on Netflix streaming. So there's that. Let's see. We got at least one more here, and I don't have it readily available.
I have it, Sorg.
You got it. You want to roll with that, sir?
Sure. We have yet another I have something to say from Gracie Wayland.
Okay.
Can you have CM Punk shut up? That's
No.
it.
No.
The answer is no.
No,
Because he is a
that's
god
not
among
within-
gods among
Actually,
men.
hold on. Let me think about it.
Oh, wait. Just
This is great for radio.
Jeez.
And no.
Hey, come on. We all here.
it's not within our power to do.
Yeah. Well, still beyond that, we all here.
And even if it was, why would we want to?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Have
good
you seen
stuff.
him on Raw?
It's good stuff. It's fun stuff. My mother-in-law is going to be so pissed. I want to get that call again from last time. Remember last time he did this weird cult-like leader thing? I got this. Why are they doing that? That's kind of disturbing. I'm like, yes, that means it's working.
The point.
That means you're doing a really, really good job, and I'm a big fan of it. This whole, and they've taken it to another level of just being disturbing. This whole faith thing, it's tremendous. The whole
And how
sacrifice.
somebody can kick him in the face and then afterwards kneel down so he can put an armband on him.
Yeah. That's
That's
all
awesome.
I can do.
I wonder if that was Punk's initiation.
I think it was to a point. That whole faith thing. First, I was thinking like the Sting baseball bat thing. It's like they're taking all these concepts ECW tried, like splitting the Nexus, the Wolfpack. But your nipple keeps coming up in my email. Somebody else emailed me something.
Sorg, you know what it reminds me of?
Disturbing. What's that?
You know what it reminds me of, Sorg? Back in the old ECW, when Raven took the Sandman's kid and made him part of the flock.
Yeah.
And, like, when Sandman's kid just went up to him, dressed as a little raven, and Sandman was, like, on one knee begging for him to come give his dad a hug, and he just gave the raven taunt. Oh, man. That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean,
Watching.
stuff like that. Or even a little bit, it kind of feels a little bit like the serotonin thing they tried in TNA a few years back, speaking of Ravens.
But way better because it's not.
Well,
TNA.
yeah, there's that. Of
And
course.
it's not Kaz.
It's not Kaz.
It wasn't Kaz. It wasn't Kaz's fault.
Well, you don't blame the wrestler for how bad that
Everything
stuff
is Kaz's fault.
Really? We're going to blame Kaz on this one?
Sure.
As opposed to Raven.
Well, I can't blame Raven.
LB, did you want me to have your voicemail listened to on air?
Oh, sure, if you want. I was mainly just sending it out there, so something for us to discuss while I was thinking about it.
Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll toss that on in the break. Kind of like we did the voicemails last week, if you guys listened. We'll toss that on.
Actually,
yes.
Yeah, that reminds me. Freaky sent me a message via Facebook.
Oh, did he?
Yes, it's a rather long one, so I won't read everything.
Okay.
But he was telling me about certain indie feds. He asked just a couple of questions of me.
Oh, what
Okay,
a goddamn surprise! He's talking about indie feds.
Go
Come
figure.
on. Let's.
All right, actually, you know what?
My job.
It's not that long. I'll fucking
All right,
read the whole
go
thing.
ahead, Mad Mike.
Dear Mad Mike, I'm throwing that in just
That's
to make
you.
it sound more like an email. I had a thought. I remember a conversation with Sorg a while back about him wanting to cover more indies, but it didn't fit into the show because we didn't watch indie stuff. That made me think of what you said about not having the money to go to indie shows where you are. There are tons of indies with net shows. You can watch them for free whenever you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you pick TNA apart, I seriously feel bad for you. Do you even enjoy TNA anymore? There is so much wrestling to choose from. Why watch what you hate? Would you be interested in being sent links for indie groups with free TV to watch and talking about them on the show? Why not give the promotions that desperately need eyes watching them some attention? My first thought is OVW because Cornette is back there and he seems to hate what TNA is doing even more than you do. And then he gives me money for OVW. First of all, I do enjoy some aspects of TNA.
Yeah.
Because if you'll notice, I hardly ever badmouth the wrestling on TNA. Never. Because they have tremendous talent in TNA. They have amazing tag matches sometimes. And there are a lot of really good singles matches in there if you really look for them. My problem with TNA comes with the booking. And, making sense.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
they
You have a
seem
logic
not
problem.
to want to do.
You have a logic problem, which I agree with you to some point. I keep putting LB on for some reason. And yeah, this is the gist of what he was trying to get across in his voicemail to us last week. So, and as far as I think just like with that, I know you didn't listen to the entire voicemail because the room noise and everything when I was trying to pass it
Oh no,
on to you.
I heard it on the playback sort.
Okay, yeah, but I mean,
listened to
but
the whole
also
thing,
the
so,
thing is,
yeah.
he's not just attacking your TNA position, but your take on indies. You address the I don't have money, but really it's also time. Because a lot of us here, like I know, I make an effort to make sure I hit the big three: SmackDown, Raw, and TNA throughout the week. Just so I know what's going on, because that is a main point of why people come to a show like this. The general listener is gonna, and the general wrestling fan is gonna be talking about those three programs. You can't get away from that. Now, for me, I know it's hard to find the extra time to watch anything beyond that. I would love to. You don't know the stack of DVDs I have upstairs that I want to watch of indies. I have some Shimmer stuff I want to watch. I have some IWC shows that I haven't seen yet. I have some AIW shows that I bought, and I never watched the entire thing. I picked out the matches of some guys I wanted to check out, and I have never watched through the entire DVDs. That is a fact. Just because I don't have the time with everything that we're doing with the productions here and everything. And I know you guys have busy schedules too, but there is only so much professional wrestling you fit in through the week. That's why that's
Sorg. I watch way too much professional
plus
wrestling.
there's that
during the week.
is it being part of your job too. That's why we kind of go to the approach that, everybody keep an ear out. We're looking for fan suggestions to at least, sprinkle that in there. Whatever WrestleFan just walked away from the screen. It startled me. He still has a Christmas tree up or something.
He's going to Great American
Hold
Cookie.
on. Let's, we were talking about before. So wait, that's a nice picture. Who's that in the picture? You think that's the girl from the cookie
Is that
stand?
his mother?
Anyways, let's not. You need to listen to Gold for the rest of that conversation. Anyways, hi WrestleFan, how you doing? Anyways, no, that's why we kind of like, and there's way too much indie stuff for all of us to hit, and all of us watch NWA Hollywood and IWC and PWO and AIW and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and Ring of Honor and that. I mean, that's like 5 days worth right there, right? So yeah, we do our best. I mean, that's really all we can do, you know. So, speaking of which, if nobody else has anything to speak on this, let's get into the indie news.
Hey.
Where I'm pretty sure all we have to talk about is ROH. Oops, that does not help my point at all. I'm sorry?
I was
Well,
trying
we're
to
talking. I think we mentioned it
for the indie news.
The WrestleFan has the floor.
Oh, sorry, WrestleFan.
Yeah, that's a good. We only mentioned, I think maybe briefly last week with the whole Mayhem thing, but ROH has announced that they're canceling their deal with HDNet. It's just over the fact that they didn't draw the ratings they expected,
and they did only have. They had a 2-year contract, I believe, too.
Yeah, they had a 2-year contract, and it hasn't been renewed. So, sad for Ring of Honor, but Kerry Silkin, the president, released a statement saying that they're going to move on from this, and I don't think it'll be too bad for Ring of Honor. They shouldn't be able to maintain themselves pretty well even without the television deal.
Mm-hmm. They did it beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all I have this week for indie wrestling.
A couple things I did catch. First of all, actually, we if we could count it as this, even though they aren't TV, if they're more than the top 2, I think we're going to just qualify them as indie. Pro Wrestling Eve is a European women's wrestling, kind of like Shimmer for the UK, I think. I know they just released the DVD. I was listening to some interviews on Diva Dirt on their Women of Wrestling podcast with the promoter and some of the talent from over there. Sounds like some really cool stuff. I'm sure there's some stuff on YouTube to sample it. You can check them out at evewrestling.com for any info on that. It's a little weird website. I think it's like a weird WordPress thing. But go there for some more info on that. Lucha Libre USA has a few announcements. Let me see if I can pull them up here in the rundown real quick. First of all, I'm sorry. Oh, here's another one. Before we get to that, and this is one we did not talk about last week, actually. Diva Dirt and Chick Fight presents Taylor Wilde's retirement match against Alyssa Flash, February 5th. You can check out more about that. And actually, it'll be available for download over on clickWrestle.com. So, interesting that Taylor Wilde's actually retiring after being let go by TNA.
Yeah, I heard the thing about it is that she's going to get going back to college and getting her degree. I forgot what in, but
that's cool.
It's good. I always liked her. She was a good one.
And that's not to say that she won't be back. I mean, it may be a temporary retirement. Wrestling's done for now, you know. She's young. I mean, God, she's got to be in her early 20s, right? I mean,
I believe she's younger than me. So yeah.
So she's in her early 20s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's great to see them doing that. It's like, you know, all these wrestlers that go into wrestling without any other kind of prospects. It's great to hear about that. I think the Pope still goes to college or something, and he's on TNA even, you know.
That sounds like the awesomest 80s movie ever. The Pope goes to college.
Sorg, wait, does he use the money from the congregation to pay his student loans?
That's what's been going on, huh? No wonder Samoa Joe's so pissed. Season 2.
I just wrote a news story for TNA.
There you go. They actually, from the sounds of it, I think that's where it's going. 2 familiar faces join Lucha Libre USA. One is somebody plenty of us on the show have wanted to see on TV since season 3 of NXT. When she was taken off of there. Isis the Amazon, Aloisa, and former TNA Knockouts champion ODB have signed up to appear on tapings in Albuquerque, New Mexico for Lucha Libre USA. This could be good. They'll join, let's see, Raka Khan, of course, has been there from season 1. Also, it looks like Lizzie Valentine, I think is a name on the indies mostly. She actually said no to WWE and yes to Lucha Libre USA.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
You don't believe that? She was once part of Wrestling Society X, so maybe she's got an MTV contract.
I do remember that.
Hey, she was on WrestleLicious as Candy Kisses.
Oh, is she? There you go. She's made it around, so she's been around. I know I've seen the name before, but nothing's really kind of...
WrestleLicious, baby!
According to her Facebook page today from over here on Diva Dirt, she decided not to submit for Tough Enough. Oh, I see. Instead, she'll be working for Lucha Libre USA. Can't wait to be back on MTV. And yeah, they did actually mention about the Candy Kisses. There was the WrestleLicious lip-syncing pop star. So that was interesting. DJ Lunchbox, you got some indie news. What's going on?
I do. It's not much, but it's interesting to me. My oftentimes lookalike Kimbo Slice is actually going into professional wrestling. He is headed for Japan.
Oh, wow.
And whoever will pick him up there. So, as we know, all roads lead to WWE, so I think it's only a matter of time before we see the big man in the big ring.
That could be interesting, and WWE is a big fan of the spectacles like that.
Oh, and he's a spectacle, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna call it right now. I'm calling it right the F now. Come WrestleMania 27, there will be a 6-man tag team. They will be called the A-Team. It will be Kimbo Slice, John Cena, and Dashing Cody Rhodes. Boom!
Jeez. What the hell? First of all, for copyrights, I don't think they can do that. But I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Because it'll be in Canada, Sorg.
Oh. Where is it going to be?
You know, like, I don't know. I'm guessing it's in Canada.
You're just throwing that out there?
No, I think it's actually going to be in Toronto next year.
Okay. That's... Okay.
I thought I read that somewhere.
All right. Tremendous. Well, on that note, is there any more indie news we want to toss out there?
I do not think I said something.
No, that was his thing.
That was it.
The Kimbo Slice.
All right, great.
Oh, my bad, sir.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to give you a little bit of preview of that gold we were talking about before, and a little bit of what's going on over on the Awesome Cast, and just what did DJ Lunchbox leave me in the voicemail a few days ago. We'll be right back. Wrestling Mayhem Show 253.
I would love to help him with that shit. In all caps.
There you go. But ladies and gentlemen, we are launching the WrestleFan project right here on Mayhem Gold.
Good teen comedy movie for the summer.
Ooh. As long as it's not that one where you guys are using each other for sex, because I think you're a little too young for that.
It's like the Randy Orton style pyro, but it's like...
Oh, I just love that
Mom's like the Randy Orton
He's
style
so
pyro.
greasy and sweaty.
I'm getting awesome! You're getting awesome!
Would you idiots please stop clicking the link, because I'm tired of deleting.
Just to know the whole plot is just
Yeah, I know. I've watched it a couple of
unbelievable.
times.
When I was growing up, I had a lot of friends that didn't take care of their Nintendos, okay? It just feels like it's going to fall apart in your hands. Those are the people with these iPhones that are having these problems. You can check us out at awesomecast.com.
Yeah, that's what I said!
Hey, what up, y'all? It's DJ Lunchbox on my morning commute to work, which is why my mouth isn't working so well. So you may know, I've got this new job at a newspaper, a local newspaper here in Pittsburgh, and it is the biggest newspaper in Pittsburgh, and it's got me thinking, because it's not more than one person has drawn to my attention the irony of the fact that just like 2 short years ago I was touting the demise of newspapers and how they had no life left in them, and now I'm working for one. But the fact of the matter is, it's got me thinking about something else I've been touting the demise of, and that's TNA. Now, the comparisons I'm drawing in my head this morning is which is going to be around longer, the newspaper or TNA? I think that's a fairly simple question. But the reasoning is a little more complicated. Clearly, it's going to be the newspapers. Duh, that's a given. Paper, newspapers delivered to your doorstep by some kid out of an NES game. That's a given. But the reasons for that, and this is what made me think of one of the fatal flaws that TNA is falling victim to over and over. newspapers were super popular. I mean, super duper popular for a long time. They were just great. You know, they were cutting edge. They were amazing. Everybody loved them. Everybody wanted them. You know, it was a bazillion-dollar industry or whatever. Yeah, you have to ask some guy named Bruce. I don't actually know. But TNA never had a huge fan base to like support them. They don't have a huge fan base that can look back and be like, oh man, remember when TNA was great? No, they don't have that. We used to say that though. TNA was great. That was like 2 years ago. Not way more than 2 years ago. What I meant to say was they were great for about 2 years. And then they start shitting in their own mouths, and nobody wants to see that unless you're a fan of, you know, the Human Centipede movie. But the fact of the matter is, like, look at WWE. Yeah, okay, wrestling was huge in the mid-'90s, early 2000s, all of that. But if you think about it, WWE was huge. Yes, WCW was kind of huge, but now it's dead. And as much as TNA wants to emulate their successes, they only emulate their failures. And ECW was huge, but the same rule applies. As much as TNA wants their successes, they only seem to emulate the failures. WWE, I mean, we as fans get through the lean times by saying, oh man, remember when this happened and when this was awesome, and Booker T and, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, Edge, you know, through the lean times. And then we have times like now where everything's tremendous and we're happy again. And like I said, times like now we're happy. We don't have, TNA doesn't have that, oh, remember when thing to keep people around. So really coming to is, you know, if they don't find a way to step up their game, you know, and they have to be that great time now. Otherwise, my prediction is going to be true, and within 2 short years, there's not going to be a TNA anymore. Just saying. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Wrestling Mayhem Show 253. That was the rambling voicemail by one DJ Lunchbox the other day. But beside the whole dead tree thing, which we really got that, we maybe should come on the Awesome Cast and talk about that angle on it. A little bit of crossover there. And yes, that is pretty fucking ironic.
Yeah.
But yeah,
oh, yeah,
we didn't really talk about it. We had the big announcement about like Rob getting a job on the last Awesome Cast, but you got a new job. You know,
that's true. Well, it's temporary for now. Hopefully, they're going to be keeping me on full time.
Fantastic.
So we'll see what happens. I like the job. I like the place. I like the people I work with.
It's and obviously, just a matter of it's at
money.
Thunder Mifflin.
It is Thunder Mifflin. I got this shirt.
Yeah.
So.
We may not keep you on, but we gave you the spiffy T-shirt. So,
that's true.
But you know, you bring up a good point, and I've thought about this before. I might have mentioned it. We might have had this conversation a little bit on the show, but you know, being in WrestleMania time, we get all the flashback, all the numbers of the Royal Rumble get crunched for that promo they've been doing that I look forward to every year. You know, we're going to get our WrestleMania moments leading up to April. But yeah, TNA has a history. But they don't have the vaunted history, you know, and the fandom and nostalgia factor that WWE does. You know, I mean, you're like, oh, I remember when Hogan did this. I remember Hogan did that. Mm-hmm. We don't remember as fondly when Hogan came in and took brass knuckles to Ric Flair in a cage last year. You know, that's not, and I don't think that's something we're going to.
Remember when Jeff Jarrett came in and he did that thing?
Yeah,
and
I mean, even
Vince Russo was there. Yeah.
You look at WCW. WCW could ideally have those moments. You know, I don't think they're on the scale that WWE has. But WCW, think back, is like, oh, I remember when Hogan did this. I remember when Ric Flair did this, you know, when Hogan turned was such a big thing, you know.
Yeah,
I remember
bringing
when
the Four Horsemen back together.
Yeah. I remember when they brought in all the luchadors. You know, it's been tremendous. But
actually,
yeah.
you know, Sorg, that is kind of a good lead into this book I just finished.
Yeah. Cough button WrestleFan. Yes, I see you checking in on Get Glued to that book. That's the Countdown to Lockdown by Mick Foley. You're holding up there for the audio listeners. How is it?
Yeah, well, I was just about to say it, but it was actually a really good book. But Mick Foley actually talks about that kind of specific thing that we were just mentioning. Like, he talks that like it's kind of a disservice to TNA that they have to actually reach back to histories from other companies.
Mhm.
Like, to try and, remind the fans that there's animosity. Because basically, the Countdown to Lockdown, at least half the book, Foley is talking about the build-up to his big match at Lockdown with Sting, where he won the TNA championship. And he's talking like people who've been longtime wrestling fans know that Cactus Jack and Sting have a history way back in WCW, but a lot of new TNA Impact fans don't know that. So it's kind of a disservice to them that they can't really remind people about it by showing them. They only have to, kind of take people's word for it and stuff like that and remind them about what kind of heat that they had. And he says a lot of TNA feuds have that effect. Like, these are people from former companies, so they're going to have, heat with each other or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. Well,
but it's unfortunate that they can't actually access the stuff, and they can only have exposition talking about it.
And I think a perfect thing for that, I was catching up on Impact from last week. We'll get more into these guys, but they had the reunion of the Hardy Boys. And their big thing is, I remember back then, these guys were the greatest tag team. They speculated if they stayed a tag team for as long as 3D was, they would be the best tag team in the world. I
actually believe that.
Okay. Maybe they wouldn't have gone such wayward ways. And that's a whole other conversation we've had before too. And it's like, I remember they had such great feuds with Team 3D back in the day, with Edge and Christian, which, Christian's been a part of their company, so that's okay, but still, we're talking about a different company. And granted, feuds that happened even before their company, TNA, was in existence. But, yeah, their history is not their own, and it really kind of cheapens it, we're this cool new company, but we look back so far, if you're a new fan, maybe it's just no new fans anymore that you can talk to, that this is it from the ground up,
Well, the thing that bothers me about TNA is, if you look at their homegrown talent, they do have history they can call back. Like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. They have stuff like that they could call back, but they just constantly refuse to acknowledge their own history. Like, practically a year ago to this day, Samoa Joe had face paint on and a knife and was threatening to cut people. Now he's upset that Pope might be using congregation money for strip clubs.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes... And it goes back to that thing that they could be building their own history, because they do have a pretty good history, or they could have, I've been, as you guys know, I've been converting my old VHS collection of some pay-per-views and everything, and I went back to that. Remember when we were talking about the great series between AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hey, there's some guys that we don't reach back to Ring of Honor history to see how great they were in their interactions, That's something built from the ground up. CM Punk was originally part of TNA, before he went to the WWE. Even Jeff Jarrett.
Let me say, Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn. He had his ECW tenure. It gave a little bit of credibility. You could have built up from there. We had Ron Truth.
You could have Beer Money go against Eric Young and Orlando Jordan, because they don't want Eric Young parading around with the old TNA World title.
Exactly.
And they have history.
Exactly.
Robert Roode and Eric Young were in Team Canada together.
Look to the point of Ron the Truth Killings used to be, of course, K-Quick on WWE, was reinvented and turned into a character, became champion, something you could build from. 3 Live Crew, obviously a DX ripoff, but they were their own thing. They were, BG James didn't have the stigma of the Road Dogg because it was a different name off the bat. Of course, Team 3D's, been around too long to be thought of anything but the Dudleys. So you have to recognize their history, and it's a good selling point there. But they keep reaching back for this. They're like, well, they saw it before, they'll see it again. It's like, well, when do you innovate? When do you innovate Sorg, when it doesn't involve a giant Lego cage?
Sorg,
I do love Legos.
I'm not going to try and get too spoilery because I know you guys are still, I guess, trying to avoid
more
spoilers.
or less. I mean,
TNA will be reaching back in their own history rather soon, but they're reaching back for the worst possible thing that they could.
Okay.
And yeah, at least that's the way it looks. I've got nothing confirmed except for reading, what the next couple weeks of programming has. But if it's going where it sure does look like it's going, they're definitely reaching into their own history, but they're pulling out a huge steaming turd.
Okay. Well, go ahead. You're that far. Well, just touch on it so we have an idea here to make your point.
It looks like they're bringing back the main event Mafia to go against the Mortal.
Okay.
Just because,
which I'm not surprised.
A return's happening.
Yeah.
Which I won't spoil.
Scott Steiner.
Kurt Angle obviously coming back into the fold, and Kevin Nash tweeting that it was bullshit that he re-signed with TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Super Shredder. So I'm. TNA is reaching back for something.
If this means
but
Booker T's coming back, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's true. There's a weird accent that he was
I
rocking
wouldn't be
there.
surprised to see Booker T in a couple weeks in a certain 40-man match.
That would be tremendous.
That would be.
That would be
I'd
good
be very happy
as well.
about that.
I'd be happier with that. So, and then the other thing, speaking of reaching back to history, like we mentioned, the Hardy Boys were reunited to a resounding whimper. Now, granted, the Impact got its probably highest ratings in a while. Off of Genesis for some reason, whether it be the Hardys still have a name. Huh.
I saw a quarter breakdown of the TNA Impact.
Yeah, so did I. Go ahead.
The lowest segment on the show was Hardy Boys reuniting.
So obviously,
because everyone thought Jeff Hardy was teaming with Raven.
So obviously, the interest has waned.
Raven / Tyler Rex.
And I'm starting to have a problem. Matt Hardy, I was still like, okay, cool. Now there's all these videos, there's these Twitters, stupid things being said on Twitter. I threw out there on Twitter, and I hope you guys, some of you guys got a chance to listen to this. But Between the Ropes, Vito DiNucci, one of the new Heavenly Bodies on that show, a show I've listened to for a very long time, at least as long as I've been doing this show. I'm a big fan of the show personally as a fan. Vito went off about Matt Hardy because Matt Hardy's talking about how he doesn't get a chance to work and et cetera, and whining about his spot in WWE. And I believe his words were, well, you got your spot in a pretty major storyline, a major spot on a pay-per-view against Rob Van Dam, who's a pretty important guy. And what was it? You didn't really work that well. You look like shit, and your hair's funny. I mean, it pretty much illustrated the whole point.
Matt bought an ice cream truck off of eBay and was sad to find out it wasn't already filled with ice cream.
There you go. I don't know. Okay, dude, somebody got that. But that and Shane Helms on his is it an internet radio show or is this actually on Sirius or some crap like that? Does anybody know this?
It's an internet radio.
It's an internet radio show.
Time would give Shane Helms.
He's sharing the same airtime and bandwidth that we are. Okay, guys. And I'm sorry, as much work as we put in this show, I mean, it's not like even X-Pac has a more important show being on XM or something. Okay. I mean, the Shane Helms has come down to our level and then talked about, bashed on Shawn Michaels and all this stuff. And then picks a fight with, Val Venis steps up of all people. Sean Morley. And the greatest line I heard was about how, even Paul London would work circles around Matt Hardy. It was tremendous. It's great for the dirt, but again, professional wrestling, thanks to the social media, has felt like a gossip TMZ fest more than our wrestlers getting on TMZ, in which I loathe that to begin with. But I shouldn't be getting my social media lessons from Between the Ropes. There's a problem here, and I agree. And I reiterate and I agree with the sentiments that they had this week. Hey, professional wrestlers, stop acting like fucking kids when you're in one of the big two and fucking get a fucking life. Use social media to connect with your fans, but don't be a, you know, this really shows.
The trash other wrestlers.
Yeah, they use the trash other wrestlers. Yeah, don't be a fuck stick on the internet, guys. That's the real lesson to take away from this. Yeah, I don't care if you're a wrestling journalist. I don't care. Don't be a fucking prick came out, Matt Fact. Sorry, the chat room jumped. What the hell? Yeah, Matt Hardy just started the Twitter career of Tyler Rex. Yeah, how funny is that? We didn't get the much news in that last week, but while Matt Hardy popped up again, he's got this weird dreaded hair. Tyler Rex. I keep forgetting Tyler Rex's name when he pops up on SmackDown, and he was trending on Twitter. Trending on Twitter.
Sorg, he was the number 2 trending topic.
The number 2 trending topic. How bad is your brand, Matt Hardy brand, if Tyler Rex just beat the shit out of you on Twitter?
Yeah, exactly.
And does Tyler Rex even have a Twitter?
Who knows? If he does, he has a lot of followers right now. I don't even know.
I highly doubt he has a Twitter.
And by the way, guys, another Matt fact.
Yes.
Matt knew he was asking for his WWE release the minute that McMahon began to cut back on catering expenses.
It's so bad. You guys, I mean, the Hardy family, the
Omega
whole, the Omega Fucktards, as I've been prone to call them this week. I'm starting, guys. There's the Imagination. There's the Antichrist. I'm starting right now. This is the anti-Omega Fucktard Nation right here. Okay, we're done with you people. I don't know what is happening in the backwoods of Carolina where all you fucktards grew up, but it's not translating very well for the internet, and we're sick of it. Okay, it's bad enough we gotta listen to any, you know, wrestling fan picking apart a match and forgetting it's supposed to be for fun, and Hulk Hogan getting on TMZ every other week for some stupid ass reason, and then he discovers smartphones and shoots himself shitting on the toilet in the hospital. I mean, like my childhood is dead, okay, and it's all your fault, okay. I mean,
yeah, you know what? That's Hulk Hogan.
That's Hulk Hogan.
A very old man.
Yes,
and it's like Grandpa just learned how to use a megaphone. It's okay. Hulk Hogan has enough cred. He has enough cred to be able to do shit like this.
Okay.
But
okay.
Fat Hardy, Meth Hardy, and Wayne Helms, none of you, like, combined, the three of you don't even have the clout that Shawn Michaels does.
These are guys. What was the I'm sorry, wrestling, jumping on a trampoline doesn't pay your dues. I always wondered about that, because these guys, did they really get, I mean, some of them attended some schools, I think, later, but really, these guys were yarders, right? Like, I mean, it's people been afraid to say this, that, hey guys, the Hardy Boys are yarders.
The Yardy Boys.
The Yardy Boys. I like it.
The backyardy boys here. You know, and then they got, you know, they did enough that they got into WWE and they paid their dues there as far as anybody's concerned, because they did job for I don't know how long. But have they been in that? Have they been
watching a Matt from 1994 where Matt and Jeff were shopping.
Have they been so ingrained in the high-end professional wrestling ecosystem since they've been there for, according to what you're saying, the last 16 years between WWE and TNA? They're so ingrained in that and that society that whatever the WWE's belt, whether that's been protecting them since they've been there this whole time, or warped them because whatever's going on backstage, I don't know. I'm not going to speak too much on the backstage thing, but these guys are a fucking product of it. And fuck, guys.
It's sad.
Well, I mean,
breaking
the things that Shane Helms brings up too, like he was Chris Jericho after Shawn Michaels was announced as going into the Hall of Fame. Jericho said that Shawn Michaels was one of the greatest guys he's ever wrestled and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then Shane Helms comes on like an idiot and, oh, well, you weren't saying that when he was yelling at you in the back, motherfucker. People yell at other people all the time. It doesn't mean that I yell at WrestleFan. All of a sudden, he hates me for life. In fact, I bet Jericho and Michaels are really close, and they just got into an argument that friends do. But no, but when these fucking backyardy boys like get screamed at, they instantly assume the role of a 16-year-old girl who just got her MySpace page and lets out a scathing blog about how the person that yelled at them is either a bitch, a dick, a prick, or has no dick.
Yeah, that's really mature. Of course, coming from a show like we produce. But still, guys, I mean, we at least, we're
Matt,
WrestleFan.
I'm forgetting. Matt wants to know who had the audacity to plant so many drugs in his brother's house.
Oh my God!
I blame Chavo Guerrero.
I'm sorry, you guys are a fucking joke, and TNA's not helping. And another topic came on between the ropes is that TNA's not making anybody accountable for. You put your face of the company up there. Okay, he's a heel and everything, but that doesn't change the fact that a lot of people are big fans of Jeff Hardy. He's still the face of your company. Exactly. Outside the ring as well, being champion with that stupid looking belt.
They haven't changed it.
They're taking Impact on the road to his hometown where he's going to get cheered.
Yeah, and he will. Because because we go back to, hey guys,
North Carolina. North Carolina. 3 of their biggest heels: Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Ric Flair.
Yes.
All from North Carolina. They're all going to get cheered.
Well, let's step back a moment. Like we talk about, we step back, try to be fans of it and everything. Chachi sat on this couch and said, I don't want to know who's got a drug problem and who's not showing up because of that. I don't want to know this stuff. A lot of people don't know to know this stuff. And that's your majority of the fans that are going to be out there. That's your general fans like, oh, Jeff Hardy's still wrestling and he's coming to my town. Of course I'm going to buy a ticket. Oh, he's a heel and he's got a funny belt. Well, that's weird, but I already gave him my money. That's the mentality, and that's, sorry guys, that really is how the wrestling business is, as far as from the fans' perspective. We're in a very minority that we care about all this other crap,
But Sorg, ordinarily I would agree with you. If you were talking about WWE, I would totally 100% agree with you. But TNA fans are different. TNA fans are very much like the ECW fans. If you've been to the Impact Zone, these people are there religiously.
Yes.
They're there all the time. They read up on people. They know shit that's going to happen before it happens. These are like the ECW fans who will scream out, Kane Dewey, when Mick Foley's cutting a promo. These are people who do know what's going on. It's not like these people, we call the Impact Zone a bunch of fucking marks and idiots. But they do know what's going on for the most part. At least all the regulars that are there. The rest of the people are just brought in by, hey, we're Universal, a free wrestling show.
Yeah, it's on the flyer when they come in.
Don't even care about wrestling to begin with, but those are the ones that sit on the opposite side of the hard camera, and you don't even know they're there until someone comes in on a motorcycle.
Yeah, which I have to say though, I'm glad that they are moving to a different city because they've mentioned for a long time that the Impact Zone fans are so jaded. But the fact of the matter is, and I was talking to Riz about this, this is way overdue. They should have done this like a year ago. When, I remember we did complain a lot last year about the stuff TNA did. However, looking back on it, it really wasn't all that bad compared to what's going on now. They showcased.
I think the only reason that they're moving Impact to North Carolina, ironically, where Jeff Hardy lives, is because I obviously think that they think Jeff may not be able to cross state lines. I'm really not joking about that because he's going to get sentenced sooner than later. Whether he gets jail time or not, if he's on probation, he will not be able to cross state lines.
Yeah.
That's
so I wouldn't be surprised if
I agree. I
the
think
next
you're
batch
probably
of
right
Impact
about that.
tapings, whenever that is, that Jeff's trial is after that. And if he gets sentenced, he won't be able to leave state lines. So they're going to have to tape Impact there.
Jeez.
I really think that's the only reason. I don't think it's not about trying to better their product or expand their brand. I think they just realized, oh shit, the next time Jeff goes into court, he's gonna get sentenced for something. And if we need him on the show, we're gonna have to do the show there.
Yep.
And that's the thing. If that is the case, like, this is the problem I have with TNA being so unprofessional, where they try to work around this stuff for, you know, their lead wrestler going to jail. You shouldn't work around it. You know, you should.
You know what they should have done?
Go with something else.
They should have had RVD take out Jeff Hardy, just like Jeff Hardy had RVD taken out.
Yeah, and he just had a contract he didn't re-sign.
Just write him off, let him figure out what needs to happen with his jail time. Let him sort all of his shit out, and then you can have a really good Jeff Hardy RVD match, and you don't have to worry about it. They didn't even need to give the belt to Anderson. They could have just had Anderson win the #1 contenders match at Genesis, and then you open Impact with Jeff Hardy lying, bloodied and battered on the floor, and Rob Van Dam just standing over him with like a lead pipe or something, and say, "Payback's a bitch, Jeff."
And then
then you open Impact.
So what? You have another tournament like Riz says in the chat room here?
No, you just have Matt Morgan versus Mr. Anderson again.
Okay.
Or you throw in someone from Immortal.
Since they were the #1 contenders, or, you know, and such. So, yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right. Or Eric Bischoff, being the heel that he is, he could just say, hey, you know what? We need a champion. And Hardy is our champion. Boom, just give it to Matt Hardy. I hate to say it because I don't like Matt Hardy. But just give it to him and have him carry the torch for Jeff. It'd be perfect. But no, they just did a hotshot title switch. And
I wouldn't
not
call
to mention, Anderson kicked out of like 18 finishers.
Yeah. After doing a match with Matt Morgan. What's that?
When he was supposed to be concussed.
Yeah.
Like, have this huge whole concussion thing. And then they're like, hey, no, you know what? Twist of Fates. Fuck it. Swantons, fuck it. He's gonna kick out of everything. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on that note, let's move on to some happier news. I hope. What do we have here? Well, really cool. One thing that the Nexus has been the big news. You know what CM Punk is doing. It looks like they're doing another Nexus over on SmackDown. If you didn't see that, of course, Wade Barrett had his match with Big Show. There's a duck in our background right now. And he got teamed up with the departing Nexus members from CM Punk's. I can't remember their names right now. The one that's not David Rotunda, Gabriel, and the one
Heath Slater. The two that were the tag champs.
Yeah, those two. And Zeke, our man Zeke, joins them.
Oh, I love
tremendous.
Zeke.
Apparently, they're going to be Nexus Blue, from what I could tell from their tights.
They did have matching blue tights.
There's some cool new music for Wade Barrett. You know, I mean,
it's because they're on the Blue Show.
They're on the Blue Show, exactly. I don't know why Yellow has. I guess Yellow doesn't clash as bad. I know actually.
They should be called the Bluxus.
They got to give them a different name or something. It's going to be a new something, you know. But we don't know yet. But I'm pretty excited for that concept coming over there. And
there's a rumor in the chat room going on that they're going to be called the Legion.
The Legion?
The Legion.
Huh. That could be cool. You know, especially they add to the
WWE also holds a trademark on the network.
The network.
Well,
yeah,
the network I think is
Nexus.
going towards something else, sir.
No.
Just saying. I think that's going to something else.
Oh, somebody's being weird about his sources.
No, well, I have no sources per se. I'm just saying, if I were a betting man, it would not be for a group of wrestlers.
Okay. Oh, the network.
Yes.
As in, okay, I got you.
As in, yes.
Fantastic. So there's that. Aside from that, great stuff. The new guy. Oh man, I just got rid of that page. Baby Batista. He was the fellow that from the SmackDown house show that they had from Pittsburgh, but apparently he's from.
He is not from Pittsburgh. Just saying.
He's from Europe or something.
But they told us Colt Cabana was from Pittsburgh too. So
did they? When did they do that?
But
he had a dark match here in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, because like nobody knows who Colt Cabana is, let alone Scotty Goldman. Like Jewish, okay, he's from Squirrel Hill, it's cool. But it's like Colt Cabana. What the fuck? He's from Chicago. It's second city saint. Fuck you, WWE. But they do that all the time.
I forget what book I was reading, what wrestling autobiography, but one of them was saying that in their dark match for WWE, they automatically bill someone going against the heel as being from the hometown. Just to get a cheap pop for the
especially if somebody. Well, again, we go back to the general person at a house show is somebody that doesn't know all of these guys that wouldn't know Colt Cabana from Ring of Honor or IWC or something, So it goes back to that. That generally most of your crowd is like, yeah, he's from Pittsburgh, or the kids or whatever. Again,
The Undertaker's also been billed from Death Valley for years, and he's from like Houston.
Well, then there's that parts unknown, et cetera, et cetera.
But
hey, did you guys?
Parts unknown is real. Parts unknown is real.
Oh, of course.
Mantar is there.
A lot of people there, right? Did you guys hear about John Cena claiming that he got fined for his use of ass on the show?
Yeah, that's bull. That's bull cookie.
Yeah. That's pretty much the word on the street.
Yeah, that's full hockey.
So I don't know if you guys had any opinion on that. That was just something I came across over the week. So
I do love John Cena's Twitter feed, though.
It is good. I've been enjoying
in character. It's so great.
I've been enjoying Juan Cena's Twitter feed still. So
still letting that guy tweet. That poor guy.
I want to throw out there's a really cool article today that I posted on the Mayhem Show account from Dave Lagana. Of course, he used to work for WWE, currently works for Ring of Honor. What does Vince McMahon want from wrestling? This is actually a really good article, for upstart professional wrestlers that kind of want to take a little. I think there's a couple good pointers for this, and just a little more insight into what Vince sees and wants. The typical stuff. If you listen to Paul Heyman interviews about his time in WWE, he always says, and he makes mention in this article that Vince gets angry when he sneezes because it's something he can't control. Basically, you don't get sick. That's not an excuse, sort of things. It's just that stuff you don't control. Of course, except for Bret Hart got that fever that one time, and they took the IC belt off him and gave it to the Mountie. Stuff like that.
Hey, to be fair, Sorg, the Mountie was handsome, he was brave, and he was strong.
He's the Mountie.
And he enforced the law.
Anyways, what did it say? What's your finish? Know your brand. The little part we talk about, what we feel is successful. I think as a whole here, that little part where they're, it's a little piece of themselves. It actually says that Vince sits down with a lot of the guys and tries to help figure out what are they inside and kind of help bring that out. You get to know them. So that's pretty cool that Vince has a hands-on touch with wrestling and everything. Go check that out.
It was some wrestling documentary that showed him actually it was Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
He sat down with draws and worked up the puking gimmick.
I don't know if that was the greatest example of that.
Well, if you read Foley's first book, Foley also describes his first meeting with Vince McMahon. They talk about Mankind the Mutilator.
Yeah. I mean, and Undertaker was first Kane the Undertaker, and there's all these sketch-ups and everything. Now, granted, in the 90s was really a time of they were over-embellishing, Since, I think you could talk about since then, they've gone back to that inner character. Because it always was characters before then. It was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. It was Greg the Hammer Valentine. It was, American Dream.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Papa Shango.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's been known as, Papa Shango, has been that for how long? But his second run in WWE, WWF, they decided to actually dress him up like a dragon and breathe fire.
Made him carry a Komodo dragon around.
As far as I've been able to tell, he wasn't known as the Dragon until WWE.
No, he was. No, he was
Sorg,
no. He was definitely the dragon the first time in WWF because he had a pet dragon, kimono dragon he brought to the ring. When he was
I know
feuding with
that,
Jake.
but before that,
Okay.
before his first time in WWF, he was just known as Ricky Steamboat.
See, now most of the WCW stuff I see is probably after that first WWF run. So you're probably correct in that. So I'd be interested to find that out, off air or something. So, but if you want more from this, Dave Lagana's got his blog over at iwantwrestling.com. I love the title of this. It's under it says, "Are you getting what you want?" Tweet and hashtag #IWantWrestling. So I'm sure he's out there, got to search for that. So give him a shout. So and at Lagana, Lagana, over on Twitter, give him a shout out. I know he said hi to us today and say, "What's up, man?" Hey, come on the show sometime.
Thank you, Dave Lagana.
Another shout out to friend of the show, Chris Maverick, got a hold of me today. His site over at elseworld.com. He's got a little bit of a survey for I think it's a project, something he's working on. So it's
I did check that out and I sent it.
I haven't had time to do this yet. Basically, after we go over a little bit, kind of give a little bit shout out. It's a really cool concept, from what I skimmed earlier. Survey wrestling move analysis. Basically, he has a list of wrestling moves. It's a whole survey for you. And stuff like he's got some moves like sit down backbreaker, stone cold stunner, springboard kick, hulking up, frog splash, crossface, all the way down to more cowbell is in here. I didn't realize that. Styles clash, people's elbow, tombstone power driver, 15 moves in all, that you rate in believability, difficulty, danger, harmful, excitement. So, let's see.
What exactly is a more cowbell?
That's what I'm wondering. There's a video attached.
I've heard of a lot of different wrestling moves given my current employment. I've never, ever heard of a more cowbell.
The more cowbell. So, but go check that out. I'm really interested. There's a YouTube video attached. I'm not sure if that's a demonstration of these moves. Maybe it could be. So, but yeah, give it a shot. He's always got cool stuff going on there. I got my 365 concept off of him. From we talked about it before on the show and on AwesomeCast and everything. Oh, actually, this video is all the moves. There's Abyss doing a sit down backbreaker. It looks like.
Shock treatment. So
we'll see what the more cowbell is at some point. Oh, there's Wrestler X doing the Crippler crossface. Yeah. But yeah, elseworld.com. We'll have the link over there at delicious.com/wrestling mayhem. Yeah, I thought I confused it for a second. So that's all the news I have for this week, guys. If anybody else wants to toss in there real quick.
Sorg, we have the 40-man Royal Rumble.
Well, yeah, we did talk about it a little bit earlier.
Now,
it is my absolute favorite time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I like a Royal Rumble like I like nothing else.
I've seen a bunch of tweets of people bad-mouthing this and asking if WWE even has 40 men on their roster to do a 40-man Royal Rumble. So Mad Mike did the math, and I counted all the superstars on Raw and SmackDown. Okay,
yeah,
all the male superstars. This is discounting any female superstars or any announcers. And Raw basically has 33. SmackDown has 21. Okay, so right away, that's enough for a 40-man battle royal.
Almost even 50. 50.
Yeah, you can have a 50-man battle royal. You can have 54-ish.
If you wanted
but,
to. Yeah.
even if you take out the guys, because I've also taken out the 4 people who we know are in title matches.
Yes.
Because they've never said that the losers of the WWE title match and the world title match can't be in the Royal Rumble match.
It's happened before.
Like I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Randy Orton in there if The Miz beats him. Same thing with Dolph Ziggler if Edge wins, or vice versa on both those matches.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also taken out the people who either have not been on TV for a very long time, guys like William Regal or The Undertaker, obviously, and guys who are currently injured and we don't know when they're coming back, like Goldust
Regal
or
was on
Evan
last
Bourne
night.
or Finley or something like that.
Sure, Regal was on last night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had the match with Daniel Bryan.
But still, given that.
But he supposedly retired in England, so who knows what that means. But even with that, and I even took out guys like Triple H, who's retired.
Yeah.
We still have 42 people in all of WWE, and this is with no surprises. No surprise entries like maybe a Chris Jericho or a Booker T or a Hacksaw Jim Duggan or, whoever you want to throw in there. With no surprise entries, there are still 42 men. So I have a feeling this is going to be a fantastic Royal Rumble.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Still haven't figured out where I'm seeing it yet. But
I hear Justin has a nice house.
There you go. This is one of those deals where it's like, hey, we complain about pay-per-views that aren't worth it, but gotta say, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, those ones are usually worth it. So
always worth it. I've never put down money for one of those pay-per-views and been disappointed,
Exactly. Not to the point where I want my money back.
Except for that one time where I had to go to work and had the fucking Royal Rumble spoiled for me, WrestleFan.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleFan's a fucker.
I'm straight up and down turning my phone off during the Royal Rumble.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Awesome Kong. That'd be a tremendous entrance.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They
did mention the two women on the rundown. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Mike, aside from your number crunching, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
What did I... Sorg, I have learned so many things.
So
much this week.
So much.
So many things. I think one of the biggest things I learned is that Matt hates it when people call him the White Awesome Kong.
Did he respond to you?
No. But, alright, side note, when I was watching TNA, the image... Hold on, can someone pull this up if anyone has it? Hold on, let me see.
Hold
if I
on,
can
let me bring it up
searches.
for you. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
When you're watching the next TNA show, take a very, very close look at the imagery they have for Matt Hardy when he shows up on TNA. He does the exact same face as Awesome Kong. And Awesome Kong is a very nice woman, and she doesn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve to be associated with Matt Hardy in any way, form, or fashion. It's just really kind of sad. Like, Jesus. I'm trying to... WrestleFan, what did you learn this week from
I learned wrestling this week. I learned that CM Punk is a master manipulator because he can boot him in the face and still that is weird mind trickery shit. I don't want to understand it, but I just gotta say, all hail CM Punk.
We will not shut up. We will not have him shut up. DJ Lunchbox, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Well, what I learned from wrestling this week is actually pretty sad. I learned it while I was talking to you, and it was a stark realization that we all used to be really big fans of the Hardys and the Hurricane, and now they make us angry and rant. They've the things that they did that made us fans, they are just not interested in doing anymore, and it's a shame. It's a real shame. So there would have been a time where I was happy, ecstatic to just at the notion that Jeff Hardy might be the face of any company. And now it really makes me sick because he's a fucking, Jeff Hardy, So that's what I learned.
Fantastic.
Sorgatron.
Yes, sir.
What did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned from wrestling this week. Man, what stuck out for me? What stuck out for me? I'm excited. We always joke about that NWO Wolfpack split, but I'm terribly excited for the Nexus Blue is kind of the name we have for it now. Well, I'm sure we'll find out this week what's going on with that. Maybe it's something because they had the Caesar speech with Wade Barrett, and I do love that he is a heel and not a cowardly heel to a point. That he goes after the biggest lion or whatnot. I mean, I think that's really cool, and he doesn't really, even though he has a team behind him, he doesn't really back down. So I think that's
Sorgatron's.
Yes,
Sorgatron. The two images I'm about to put in the chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please potentially do a side-by-side on them and be scared?
I can't. I don't know if I can do this, to be honest.
What? It's a little frightening.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to.
Okay. Then can we put them on the show notes or
if you
something?
Want,
because
sweet Jesus.
Yeah. It's just really, really scary. Like, if Matt Hardy gets a tan and
is that why he got the braid? Oh my God.
They'd be the same person.
I'll work on that here. But like I said, I think that's a really good thing for SmackDown. And everything. I think SmackDown was really good this week, actually. So there's a positive for you. I'm sorry.
No need for me to run down SmackDown for you.
And by the way, Alberto Del Rio got another huge push on Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, Alberto Del Rio is going to win.
He did. Yeah, he's really kind of poised to do that if they don't do anything interesting with him.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. Actually, I got this up. Please bear with me if your connections go a little odd. Okay, there's the new Matt Hardy, the new and improved Matt Hardy. And there's Awesome Kong. Matt Hardy.
All he has to do.
Awesome Kong.
All he has to do is raise his fist.
Wow.
It's really kind of scary.
These are the official TNA picks too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's the reason why he got the braids.
They're like, hey, we're missing a big black woman with braids. Can you fill the gap, so to speak?
And then Matt, he's like, I've always wanted to be a big black woman.
Finally, after all these years, my dreams realized. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here. This has been, please join us at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Of course, we got plenty of other content from other people over at SorgatronMedia.com. Again, I want to thank everybody that made last week awesome, that came out, braved the blizzard, and everybody there at the Sharp Edge Bistro on Penn Avenue here in downtown Pittsburgh, PA. You get fantastic people. Thank you for hosting. At Mindy Min, give her a shout out for helping us set the whole thing up there. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us here. Please join us next week. We're here live.sorgatronmedia.com. There's a link over there on the website to go into that page. Join us 8 p.m. Eastern right there every Tuesday, unless we got anything. And follow us here on at Mayhem Show or WrestlingMayhemShow.com for the updates if we do move anything, if we're doing any special events or anything, like last week with our Sharp Edge on Bistro. Sharp Edge Bistro on Penn. Ding. And of course, please contact us. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, as well as 412-206-WMS09670. Check out the Gold app on iTunes on the Android store. Thank you, everybody. Mad Mike, thanks for joining us from the Bronx, sir.
Thank you, Sorg, and I do have one thing that I want to plug. This is no longer Dashing Mad Mike. This is just Mad Mike. It's a little secret project I've been working on.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I have a new blog up. It's called Crisis of Infinite Mics.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoy comics, if you enjoy nerdery, if you know what the hell this shirt means, I guarantee you will love my blog. Is me and a friend here, also named Mike, who we just decided to do this blog and have a lot of fun with it. Crisis of Infinite Mics.wordpress.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at Crisis of Mics on Twitter. Please follow us. That's how you'll know when we update the blog. And coming soon, hopefully this weekend, I am going to compare the 4 current playoff teams left in the NFL and the 4 playoff teams that were just defeated in the NFL to superhero teams. So hopefully it'll come out as well as it does in my head.
Fantastic, sir. And of course, from Texas, WrestleFan. I've been enjoying your stuff. I've been enjoying your live blogs. Please keep it up.
I have been enjoying making them, and if you want to go to youtube.com/WrestleFan2000, subscribe, leave comments, because I love feedback, and that's what makes me a better vlogger of sorts.
WrestleFan, before you do another vlog while you're driving, I do have a request. Please listen to the song Stan by Eminem, and you will see why that is a fucking horrible idea.
What?
Just saying.
Oh,
what?
Just
listening
saying.
to Eminem or driving and yeah?
No, listen to the song Stan by Eminem, and you will hear why recording things while you're driving is a bad fucking idea.
All right, and
I'm a great multitasker.
And also from the other side of town, or no, his deep secret lair, DJLunchbox. Thank you again for joining us.
He's been ousted.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. And I really have nothing going on except for, work and having a job and trying to put my life together and be a grown up. So once I get all that accomplished, more soon. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And of course, check me out, Sorgatron.com, all the stuff, SorgatronMedia.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week. This has been the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We are out. Here's some basic sickness as every week now with our new theme. Enjoy.
Just wait, just wait, just wait.